The first and best MMO of 2022 is Odin Valhalla Rising. Some of you have expressed your concern that this game is just going to be another autoplay MMO that has nothing new because of some rumors started after the gameplay trailer was released. And while it has been confirmed that the game will have some elements of autoplay, I am keeping this game at the top for 3 reasons. The first one is because the graphics in Odin Valhalla Rising are unprecedented for mobile gaming. The landscapes are breathtaking, the characters are authentic, and the skills are dynamic with fantastic choreography. The second reason I am keeping this game at the top of the list is because of the game's commitment to its open world and your ability to travel through that world however you want. Being able to experience the world with my friends in the way that we want to experience that world is a huge value to me and many other MMO players, because without it, the game will struggle to feel immersive. And then the last reason I have kept this game at the top of the list is because after the game was released 6 months ago in only South Korea, it took over South Korea and has made hundreds of millions of dollars in just one country. Guys, gamers don't spend that kind of money unless they like the game. And statistically, games that are friendly to free-to-play players make more money. That is not always true, but it is something to keep in mind. So I'm not going to say I told you so from my previous predictions, but I am going to keep it at the top of this list. The second game on the list is Chimeraland. This game was released to the mobile phone yesterday, and it is an incredible new addition to the gaming world. They advertise their game as an open world beyond imagination, which a lot of MMOs advertise that, right? But then when you actually play them, you're like, no, this is not really that open. Well, Chimeraland makes good on their advertising because the world is not only insanely huge, but you can do almost anything anywhere. Like, one guy went into space and thought he was breaking the game and then saw resources that he could collect, thus realizing he wasn't. This is of course a huge deal because a lot of MMO players are desperately looking for that sense of complete freedom, which is why I put this game near the top of the list. The third game on the list is Moonlight Blade. This game is made by Tencent from the fictional realm of wuxia. In wuxia, martial arts and magic are commonplace. In the production of this game, Tencent used real-life martial arts specialists to help create the moves and techniques so that they could be as realistic as possible. But you can also jump off cliffs, so they obviously picked and choose what parts they wanted to be realistic. The open world of this game is gigantic. Obviously not as big as Chimeraland, but it is quite a bit bigger than the world of Skyrim, with over 15 types of landscapes and tons of unique challenges offered in each one. Tencent has not revealed the story yet, specifically because they don't want to ruin it, which definitely intrigues me. So the whole game sounds like it's going to be amazing, but it seems like the storyline and combat animations are going to be the most impressive and unique aspects of this game. The fourth game on the list is No Kuni. No Kuni is currently only available in 5 countries, but Netmarble has stated plans to release it globally before June of this year. Made with Unreal Engine 4, the game lets players choose between 5 classes and lets you try each of those classes before you have to pick one. The PvE part of the game includes a co-op kingdom mode where players explore the world with their familiar. And then the PvP part of the game involves a 6 versus 6 competitive mode where whichever team collects the most higgledies wins. Similar to Valhalla Rising, even though this game has only been out in a few countries, it has already made hundreds of millions of dollars, and this one has a perfect 5-star rating with over 70,000 reviews. So this game is already a huge success, and I have no doubt that that success will grow with its global release. The fifth game on the list is Aion 2. This game is particularly intriguing to me due to the nature of how they advertise the PvP in their game. Apparently, PvP fights can shift mid-fight from land to air since all of the characters can fly, and maybe even to the sea. This amount of freedom given to PvP for a mobile MMO is unprecedented, and I think if they pull it off well, it will attract a lot of serious players to this game. Now, that being said, I am a little bit worried about how they will implement the flying mechanics to their game, because I have yet to experience an MMO on the phone that is able to capture the feel of flying in a satisfying way. Nevertheless, I think their commitment to these new elements of gaming will pay off for them in the end. The sixth game is Chrono Odyssey. Formerly known as Project S, Chrono Odyssey is a fantasy MMO in which players are members of a special organization called the Idrajin, whose purpose is to take down the 12 immortal gods of that world. This is another game produced in South Korea, and sadly there is no gameplay available to us yet. The reason it is on this list is because the storyline and the graphics released so far are amazing. That, coupled with the developer's intent on making it a AAA game, gives me quite a bit of confidence. And while InPixel is still a fairly new game company, their recent successes releases are giving them a lot of hype in South Korea right now. The 7th game on the list is Rise Mobile. You can tell by just watching the trailer that the story is going to feel like a movie. And not just the story, the camera angles they choose while you're just walking around and exploring makes it have that movie feel. You can also tell by the trailer that the fighting mechanics are going to have some elements of dynamacy, where at least every type of enemy fights different. And then it also looks like some enemies will have enough different types of skills that we won't be able to figure them out immediately, which is a huge plus. The 8th game on the list is Tower of Fantasy. This game has some similarities to Genshin Impact with 3 important distinctions. First, and most importantly, Tower of Fantasy is actually an MMORPG. This is an extremely ambitious undertaking because if the game does have the same amount of actions as Genshin, allowing other players in the same world will likely bog down the phone's CPU, which could lead to a lot of negative reviews. The second distinction is that the game has a slightly more realistic art style, kind of a halfway point between Genshin and a more typical MMO. And then lastly, Tower of Fantasy has a more modern theme with guns and lasers. So it is different enough to be its own thing, but similar enough that I think it will be very attractive to competitive mobile gamers. The 9th game on the list is Ragnarok Origin. This game is a remake of a classic and would have been even higher on the list, but it kind of tanked at launch just 2 months ago. As I read through the reviews, it seems like almost all of the negative issues are related to phone compatibility and a handful of bugs that seem to be fixable. So while getting a bad launch could kill the game's momentum, a lot of great classics like this one have recovered from worse. The game features the classic Ragnarok open world, cute high quality anime style graphics, customized character growth through unique build combinations, grouping with friends, mercenaries, tons of exploration, etc. The last game on the list is Blessed Mobile. Now at first look, Blessed Mobile could be written off as a copy of Black Desert Mobile, but it seems like the fans of Black Desert Mobile are not having a bad reaction to it. For many Black Desert players, Black Desert Mobile was a bit of a letdown at launch because of all the limitations regarding the ability to play with your friends. Choosing the wrong server would permanently prevent you from being able to play with your friend, but apparently even if you chose the correct server, you still had to rely on a roll of the dice to get that chance to play with your friend, which apparently was not easy even if you were in the same room. So while no one is excited when a game company copies the style of another game company, some Black Desert players are interested in this game to see if they were able to fix some of the problems they found with Black Desert Mobile. Okay, so those are the top 10 mobile MMOs of 2022, but I do have 3 more honorable mentions for you. The first one is Project DX, which is Nexon's new Durango-inspired game. Many of you have asked about Project DX after my video revealing the project last year, so I wanted to address it. Yes, I am obviously excited about this project and I will be covering it, but I am 98% sure that it will not be coming out this year. The game is still referred to by its project name, and more than that, it has no trailer of any kind. The only reason that we even know about this game is because we saw Nexon's post about hiring developers earlier this year. So I would say the earliest we could expect this game would be 2023. The second honorable mention is Albion and Runescape Mobile. Many of you guys ask about these games, and yes, these games are amazing, but this video is not really about the best games of all time, but rather the hype of a game related to that specific year. Albion and RuneScape Mobile are of course amazing games, but their hype is slowly wearing away. This is not a bad thing, that happens to all games. Because they were so good, they are becoming more like staples of the mobile gaming world. Kind of like I'm not going to be talking about Minecraft every time I talk about the survival game genre, even though it is the most played game of that genre. The third honorable mention is Project Ragnarok. I mentioned this game last year and I'm still excited about it because it seems like they plan to add some really cool game mechanics into that game, but the more I learn about how games are released, I don't think we will see this game until 2023, so that is why it's not on the list. Well, that's it guys. If you do not see a game on here that you think should be on here, it is probably because I put it in a different genre like action RPGs, survival, or something else. I am working on those videos as we speak and they will come out very soon. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.